Own a Chevy truck? Think you got coolant leaks? Is your truck overheating? Watch this video. So we're gonna get in here and I'm gonna show you every coolant spot where coolant can leak on these Chevy Vortec V8 truck engines. Let's get in here and get it done. So spots I want you to look for are right back up in here. There's two plastic connectors in here. They always leak. All right, so here's your heater core fittings right here. They always leak back up in there. So I got them right here. Here's the part numbers. If these leak, we're gonna get in there, swap them out. That's gonna be a whole thing because we gotta change out all these hoses, make our own custom hoses. You got some O-rings down in there and they leak. And then right here, you have the tubes that go to the heater firewall connections right here. This is from the factory. They got these custom crimps on there and those things leak. You can see the new ones got these band style clamps. It's a much better design. This plastic can break, gets brittle. If it does, it'll drip from there. And then you have the throttle body up there. So the throttle body has these ports on it right here. You got hoses that go on here, got a little bit of coolant that goes through here, right here, and those can leak. You notice drips under the intake. You're gonna get in there, get those hoses fixed up, swapped out. Now these radiator caps can leak, they can go bad. They're supposed to hold pressure up to 15 PSI. If they leak, the whole system won't hold pressure. They're easy, go get you a new one and swap it out. Down in here, the thermostat all around here, gasket. This can leak, it has a seal around it. If that leaks, you gotta get a new thermostat. It normally has the seal built into the thermostat. Then you got your water pump, you got a seal up top, 1, 2. Over here, 1, 2. Here's the water pump right here. There's a weep hole under here. If the seal blows out, it'll squirt antifreeze out the bottom. That'll leak right there, you got that problem. You can look for antifreeze all down under the engine. You have a mating surface right here with a gasket. Then you have another one right here. So if they're leaking, you're gonna get up there, watch them. You're gonna have to take that assembly apart, get you a new gasket. If thermostat housing's leaking, you're gonna have to get a new thermostat. If the water pump gasket is leaking, it's got two, one on each side. You're gonna have to pull the whole thing apart, get new gaskets, fix it, reassemble it. If the radiator's leaking, it's got pinhole leaks, you know, if the hoses leak going into it, if the plastic end caps leak, because they always do, you're gonna have to get in there and fix all that stuff, maybe one by one until you solve the problem, but you will get it fixed eventually, I promise you. Let's take a look at this engine that we have on the ground, this old blown engine out of the formerly abandoned Chevy Avalanche, and I'm gonna show you every potential leak spot on this engine. All right, so here's the engine right here, 5.3 Vortec V8, same as the 4.8, 6.0. I'm gonna show you all the most common leak spots for coolant. So we have the head gasket under here that can leak. You know, if it leaks, we got one right here. You got some serious problems. So, you know, they leak, fire rings blown out, it's leaking into the cylinder, you know, leaking this way, you got problems. These are normally pretty good. You know, I haven't seen many of these. It does happen though. All right, so the heads can crack and leak coolant. So if you look right here, we got a number 862. These aren't known to be bad. If you see 706 right here, those are Cast Tech heads, and those are known to be defective on some models. And if it leaks coolant, it's gonna leak right in here, right in these bolt holes. You're gonna see coolant in there. It's gonna be wet with moisture. You might even see droplets. And they aren't really known to crack right down the center, you know, get in the combustion chamber, but it can happen if you have a mysterious coolant leak you can't find. You're gonna wanna come up, check the heads, read the number right down here. If you have cracked heads, unfortunately, you gotta replace them. That is not fun to do. It's rare, but it does happen. So they don't always leak. Don't think that they always leak from all these spots. Typically, 1 or 2 spots will drip. That's it. Get in there, get it fixed, you'll be good to go. You have these little crossover ports right here. There's one right here, one right here. There's a tube that goes along here. They have little seals, and they're like a metal washer with an integrated seal. They can leak right here. Very difficult to find unless you know what you're looking for. Then if we go to the back of the engine right here, you also have some crossover points here. So yep, here it is right here. It's a block off right here. You know, they say the steam rises or something. It's something to do with the steam. You know, it can go from the front right here between the heads.
but they're blocked off. One right here in the back, one right here in the back. If they leak, you know, you got to get in there with some new washers, get them sealed up. Then you have the coolant temp sensor right here. That can leak. If that leaks, it's a crush washer. You get a new coolant temp sensor and swap it out. You can see I took it out of this one, but it can leak from there too. Then you got a reservoir right here. So it can leak from the bottom right here where the sensor goes in. That's your coolant level sensor. You know, it's plastic. These can go bad. They can leak. Got to get a whole new one. Swap them out. Then if you're really unlucky, under the dash and here, you have the evaporator core. That thing can leak like crazy. If it does, the carpet will be soaked. You got to get in here and get it swapped out. And that is the worst problem, probably up there with a head gasket to fix on these trucks. This carpet's dry, so it's not soaked. I don't believe that's the problem.
Drop me a huge thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more Chevy truck tip videos in the future. I got plenty more coming. We're going to keep your truck on the road and keep it running. Later.